Hi everyone, it's Rajitza, Feminine Intuitive here, and so we are starting our introduction into Oracle card readings and to the Sunrise Oracle card deck. So thank you so very much for those of you who are joining me. We are going over Module 1, and in Module 1 the objective today, so you know what, grab a pen, paper, you're going to take your breaks when you need it. Or you want to just sit there and listen, have something that you want to drink. It's going to be a bit of time, so we have quite a bit to cover. We are going to do an introduction to Oracle cards and to the Sunrise Oracle card deck. This is my deck that I've just released. It's going on October the 1st, so this is when you're going to see this video. And in today's module, so we have 8 weeks, 8 modules, so that's 2 months of tutorials to get you up and ready, geared, feeling confident to do your own card readings, to understand the Sunrise Oracle card deck and why it's very different, and the way that it was designed for you. And so this is Module 1. This is Introduction to Oracle Cards and the Sunrise Oracle Deck. And you can see that right at the very front page of the introduction. It tells you what it is. So the objective today is to get a basic understanding of Oracle cards and how this deck is designed to awaken your spirit. There's a little bit that we touched on in the introduction. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk about what are Oracle cards. We're going to do an overview and a difference from tarot. That's going to be very, very brief. The purpose of Oracle decks in spiritual practice. We're going to then go into the Sunrise Oracle Awaken Your Spirit card deck and its unique design. Then we're going to talk about how to connect with the energy of the deck. And you'll be left with to do 2 exercises. So this is if you want to enhance your spiritual practice and to get yourself up and ready and prepare for what the next 2 months is going to be like. I'll give you a suggestion of how to do a meditation to attune, or just do a meditation to attune to your Sunrise Oracle deck. That'll be an exercise for you to do at home on your own. And then a daily card pull. So there was one touch point reading that is just being uploaded now on YouTube. So take a look at what that looks like, and you'll see the deck of cards. And we'll go through what you can expect from the deck that you have purchased. And we want you to build a relationship. So this is going to be quite intensive because there's a lot to cover. And so why don't we just start out and see where it takes us? Okay, great. So what we did there was, I just took a deep breath. So what we are looking at is understanding what are Oracle cards. So we're going right down to the very basic fundamentals, the foundation of things, and just getting you ready. So the thing that you need to know is that Oracle cards are a fascinating tool for intuitive insight, and they draw on a rich tapestry of symbolism, and they can on archetypes and personal connection. And so, like, unlike tarot cards is a very strict system of 78 cards, major and minor arcana, and they adhere to that structure and specific symbolisms. Oracle cards are really much more fluid and expansive of a framework. And there's this flexibility that allows a reader to explore their intuition in so many different unique ways. And that's what I love, that Oracle cards can be made accessible for beginners to those really advanced readers or practitioners. So it can be for anyone. Each card deck is really distinct, and it reflects the creator's themes and insights and what resonates deeply with the readers. So that's who you are, is that you are the reader. At their essence, Oracle cards let us tap into our inner wisdom, and that is that intuitive muscle that I call that you'll be truly building on. They serve as mirrors, and they reflect our thoughts, feelings, and situations back to ourselves. So this is our higher selves, or if you want to call it that, whatever you want to believe. They actually are being given information here in this physical world about thoughts, feelings, and situations. So when we are looking at approaching an Oracle card reading, it's essential to cultivate a really open mindset. And Colette Baron Reid, in her Personal Mastery Course calls that about being the silent observer. So you are going to be observing what it is that the message that you're receiving. And you want to be curious and have this willingness to explore what messages that are arising at that time. We're going to go into what that exploration looks like in the next 8 weeks. And, being a state of curiosity really encourages you to, self discover, personal growth. But what I really love about that is that it leads to insights that you're going to gain to navigate these life situations or complexities or contrasts, as well as it's a vehicle for empowerment. And that's where the Sunrise Oracle deck really falls in. It's about emotional empowerment. So you have the physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional beings, and this is really honing in on that emotional empowerment. So as you progress in your oracle card journey, and that's what this is, which is you got to be kind to yourself. Understand that there's various spreads that can enhance your readings, and we'll address those later on. But initially, what we are going to do for clarity and direction is we're going to be doing daily card readings and pulls. So combining oracle cards with other divination, you can choose to do that. I mean, you may be experienced enough to use pendulums, crystals, whatever you like, to enrich your readings and a more holistic approach to your intuitive guidance. It could be numerology, it could be astrology, whatever. There's that synergy that expands your understanding of the messages, enhancing your ability to trust your instincts and allowing for a more fluid and dynamic reading experience. And that's what this is about. You want that synergy to really build up, and you're going to just fall in love with it. Let me tell you, that's one thing that will happen. So when you create your own oracle card deck, let me tell you, this is a transformational journey. I was pulled in every aspect, and I learned a lot. The light and the dark, and the day and the night, and the shadow work stuff came up, and that fear mongrel just decided to show its rear its ugly head at times. So this process really encouraged my own self-reflection and artistic expression, and even myself as I was channeling the words and the concept and everything. This was not the first deck that I was going to do. This was a deck that came up at 2:30 in the morning when I was off on vacation, co-sharing with two other couples a house when we were on vacation, and this really blew me out of the water. So I had to really consider the theme and that, but that was just coming like crazy. Spirit had said, you've got to do this. So I had to listen against some of the things that I thought was more pragmatic, but here it is. So really, it was a very interesting and transformative process for myself. It was quite the journey, and if you ever meet up with any of my family members, they certainly can tell you. So there's a history and an evolution of oracle cards, and some people say that they've been here since ancient times, that they've been traced back to China and to Egypt and stuff like that, and they were used for spiritual guidance and insight, and that these ancient practices laid the groundwork for the development of oracle cards as we know it as today. And so when they progressed, as time progressed, they emerged in various cultures around the world. And they say, there was a turning point around the 18th century for oracle cards. By the 20th century, you're going to see a period of emergence of well-known decks by some wonderful people. And I have the decks. I have the one in particular that I still go to. It's Wisdom of the Oracle. It is by Colette Baron Reed. And I took her course. I learned this deck inside out, and that's why I'm really a proponent for focusing on just using one deck to develop your card reading experience. And with this, new resurgent of interest in spirituality and alternative healing and an evolution of oracle cards, it really opened a door for people to explore the intuition and spirituality through the engagement of cards. And that's what's happened. And here we go. Now we are, the rise of the internet. It's a lot easier for creators to share their deck at a global audience than ever before. And so, like I said, this is the Sunrise Oracle is in a physical layout, but it's in digital format several months beforehand. It's all the getting into the printing and getting the deck in the physical form that took a lot of work. And with this global audience, you have this vibrant community of oracle card enthusiasts. There's this interconnection, and I just had a meeting today with somebody who's creating their deck, and they're venturing into the printing of that deck, and we had this wonderful discussion about what that process is like, what you have to learn, what you have to consider. And now we're looking at both beginners and experienced readers exploring diverse interpretations and applications of their oracle decks in their spiritual practice, and that is really cool. So it's not just certain people who are producing oracle decks. There's the historical significance and two oracle decks, and each card deck holds a story, a message, and a potential for personal growth. That is so true. And by understanding the evolution of oracle cards, you can deepen your connection to this tool. And that's what I want you to consider, that this is a tool for you to use so that you embrace this journey of becoming a reader and let the wisdom guide you to explore all these limitless possibilities of oracle card readings as it pertains to your life and to your practice. So let's look at the power of intuition in readings. So the power of intuition in readings. The journey of oracle card reading is deeply intertwined with the power of intuition. And each card holds layers and layers and layers of meanings, but it's your intuition that breathes life into those meanings, transforming them into these insights that resonate regarding the current situation, whatever you're asking about. So as you delve into your readings, you want to embrace the subtle nudges and gut feelings that arise. And you know what? We all get those instinctual nudges and stuff, and we know what they are. Like for me, when spirit comes and I'm doing a reading and I know I'm really on the right track, I get this tingling, I get this certain sensations. We all have that. So it's really important that you know that that's what's going to come through. And these are called intuitive whispers, and they're the key to unlocking the profound messages that go beyond surface interpretations. And we're going to dive into you moving beyond surface interpretations. And what I mean by surface interpretations is that people who will pull a card, look at it, and say, "Oh, I know what that message means." We want a deeper dive into the interpretation, the introspection of that message. So you want to allow your trust, your intuition to allow you to connect with the energy of the cards and the person that you're reading for yourself, that you're creating a dynamic flow of understanding. I love that. So that's what you're going to do, is you're going to pull a card and you're going to connect. There's going to be a connectivity between you and that card. So developing your intuitive abilities is a gradual process, and you've got to have patience, and you've got to practice this, and you need to begin to create a space, an area, some movement towards quieting your mind and tuning into your inner voice, and getting ready to prepare yourself. That's what you're doing. You're preparing yourself to do a reading. So some really great things to consider is mindfulness exercise like meditation or breath work. And these do actually enhance your receptiveness to the messages that you're going to receive. One thing that I find now, as I've been reading for all these years, is that the minute that I pick up a deck, because I've got a connectivity to my deck, I've established that relationship. And I can tell you, when I haven't established that relationship, it's a little bit of a different read. So when I've established the relationship with the cards, as I'm shuffling, this is putting me in a meditative mindfulness state, and that's what is really important. And it enhances my, it gets me ready. It gets me ready for the reading, and that's what happens. And the thing is, as you shuffle the cards, you're going to pay attention to, that shuffling. If you like to shuffle like this, or however you want to shuffle, or however you want to prepare your deck to for you to make your choice, it's gonna just get you ready and open to receive the messages that emerge or organically that are going to come out for you. So when you're incorporating your intuition to readings, it's also, oh my gosh, about letting go of what you are expecting. And I think that's the thing, is that there's so much maybe hope or consideration, or you want the direction, like you want the cards to say, this is the way that I want it to be, and you're really needing to have to step outside of those boundaries that you're forcing on yourself and say, okay, I'm going to be open to what is being given to me as a message. I got to have that flexibility. That's going to really enhance your readings. It's going to empower you to cultivate a style that feels authentic and true to your spirit. And you know what? You're going to get an individual style, but it's always really great to start off and get some kind of foundational work so that you are prepared to do a good reading for yourself. Now, again, this is about patience and confidence building, and it's about practice. So what you're going to be like now is going to be very different from what you will be like in 8 weeks. In that very short period of time, you're going to see a magnitude of differences by practicing and having some patience. You know what? You're going to gain the confidence in your intuitive abilities. You're going to consider how you're going to integrate them with other tools. This might spur you to have some sense of direction, that you want to go into crystal work or pendulum work or even astrology, numerology. And that's what I love. It's always a very good complement. I mean, you will see that I have all those type of tools when I myself am doing readings. I have my candles, I have my pendulums, I need to, reframe questions or whatever, but you start building on this repertoire of your card reading experience, and it gives you a much more holistic view of the guidance that's being offered to you. So experimenting is great, but right now we're going to concentrate on you just calibrating into a one card pull. So you know what, intuition is a lifelong practice. So celebrate those victories that you have and insights that you gain. Every reading's an opportunity for you to refine your skills and deepen that connection within. That's what this is about. And you get to explore this power of intuition in your oracle card readings. You get to be more adept reader. You become a more attuned. That's so true. Like, what I have found since doing this, and I have to look back, I think it was 2016, and I will pull out my journal as proof that I did this. But in 2016, I wrote down the words like, who am I? And I was questioning a lot about existence and what I was supposed to do in my life and what direction I was supposed to go. And Oracle card readings helped me navigate that complexity with much more clarity and confidence. And what I found was that becoming attuned was that, like, when I walk outside and my foot just touches the ground, I am in such a high vibrational state because I'm attuned to the energies that are around me, and that is like life and energy and just this positivity and this affluence that I see. Abundance maybe is a better word, but that's what I started. And then I could see that I was attuning to what I was feeling, then I was tuning to what I was thinking, and I was tuning to what was my motivations behind my actions, and then what were my actions. And I was getting a deeper understanding and connectivity to who I am as my being here. So I think that trusting in yourself and your intuitive gifts you possess is really the heart of this wonderful, authentic oracle card reading. So, you know what? Let's talk about getting started with choosing your first deck. And so, you know what? Your very first deck, it's incredibly exciting when you are choosing your very first deck. And so you've chosen the Sunrise Oracle. It may be your only deck. You may have other decks, but you know, as a beginner, it's essential to connect with a deck that resonates with your unique energy and intentions. I love that. I love that so much. So there's so many decks out there, each with their own themes and their artwork. And remember, that is based on the creator. There's messages in the process of trying to choose. Like, there's so many. And then now, right now, you're going to see a whole bunch of readers going on, okay, what's out for 2024? What are the news decks that are coming out for the fall? Like, isn't there like one said 24, another said a lot more? You know, like, there's so much. But you got to approach this in a certain way. And what I would really recommend is just with an open heart and mind, and you'll be led to that perfect deck that aligns with your spiritual path. So right now, the Sunrise Oracle is developed for emotional empowerment. So maybe that's not on your spiritual path. Maybe it is on your spiritual path. Maybe you're like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Maybe all you're going to look at is the techniques of doing authentic oracle card readings, and you'll be fine. But I'm saying, like, when you select your first deck, look at what speaks to you. It could be colors, it could be symbology, it could be the theme, it could be whatever it is, whatever you gravitate to, mythology or abstract art. You can start to narrow down your options a little bit more. And as you become more attuned, more of a practiced reader, and you gain that confidence and you become competent to it, you start looking for decks for certain reasons. And like, I just picked up two. I picked up the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot, and I picked up Colette Barron Reed's last one, Hidden Realms. And so those two are very different, but I was so fascinated with the Radiant tarot one. I was like, oh, I love the pictures and what it's speaking. And that radiance is all about that high vibrational energy. So just go become curious and wonder and engage with the artwork or the box, hold it. I do find that if I am shopping and I'm able to physically touch the deck, I'm very much someone who likes to touch the deck. Oh, it's shrink wrapped, it doesn't matter, but I like to get a sense of what it feels like in my hand. So explore different decks and play with that. Don't hesitate, to look at recommendations from other people, other readers, online communities, your friends, other mystics. Shop around, take your time, browse, immerse yourself, and remember that oracle cards it's just fantastic. I mean, that's all I can say is just a lot of fun. A background in that. So let's talk about the Sunrise Oracle. And so I want you to know that this deck is crafted with the love of a mom for her child, and it was an event in my child's life that brought life to the words, "The sun always rises." And I wanted to provide comfort and reassurance that there was stability and constancy in life, as well as renewal and hope. And so that is the background to the Sunrise Oracle. So this is in the guidebook, and I'm just going to read it to you. Take a little sip of water. Hopefully you're still settling in. It's all good. So these 58 cards came to me during moments of profound reflection on the many different types of life journeys that one can experience when the mantra I shared came to mind. And the sun vibrations, through its radiant energy, have a powerful and a profound impact on our emotional state. So, like when we feel the sun, we walk outside and feel the sun on warmth on our faces, like we the feel so optimistic and joyful, and it lifts our spirits, and we're energized, and we feel there's a vitality, and that's that brightness really evokes that in us. And we find, and it's really interesting, the sun sits like 93 million miles away, and yet we feel that when we're outside. And the sun's frequency influences the secretion of serotonin, and that's linked to our mood regulation, and it promotes a sense of well-being and contentment. Just like, though, any fluctuations in solar activity can disrupt this delicate balance. So this deck is rooted in the timeless wisdom of the sun always rises, and it's a transformative tool, and it invites you to uncover profound insights that fuel your personal growth and emotional empowerment. So much like the sun's rays, which can evoke both comforting warmth and scorching heat, where our emotions can span from gentleness to overwhelming intensities, that can either or can profoundly shape our inner experiences, what we actions, how we say, how we behave, all that. So each card helps you explore the interplay between your inner emotional landscape and the radiant power of the sun, and you learn to navigate these spectrums of feelings and energies within yourself. So you embrace this journey, and you to awaken your spirit of self-discovery, and that's what it is about awakening your spirit of self-discovery. You trust your intuition, and you warmly welcome new possibilities as you illuminate your essence. So to open this intuitive organic process and gain perspective of your emotional landscape, each card has the same image, minimizing any interference of preconceived notions. So I'm going to tell you something. So Spirit told me, and I have 100 different images, okay, that I created, and Spirit said, no, you get to do one image. And so there's not many decks out there with that. I got to tell you, it's very unique that there's only one image. And I sent it to a publishing house, and that really wasn't their jive, and they didn't get the message, but that's what I was told. And the reason for that is so that when you pull up a card, and I hope that you'll set up an altar, and we'll talk about that. And you pull up a card here, I'm just saying, like, here's grow came up, pretty interesting. That you will look at that, and you will take a look at that card and just that picture. So it is about getting your intuitive muscle to work for you to say, what does that mean? Now, grow, absolutely. Transformative, absolutely. What a process. So that's why you're going to see the same image. It is about decreasing the interference of preconceived notions. And what that means is that you might be looking and say, oh my gosh, I see this symbolism only in this card. And yes, I'm creating other decks that symbolism is in the pictures. But for this deck, for you to get into your emotional landscape, you have to remove yourself from all that stuff and get yourself in a state where you are going to be receptive. And that's why it's that way. So we shall see how that works. Okay. The sun is a conductor of solar vibrations, and this deck is about getting you to a higher vibrational state. I took a course, I took a challenge actually. I challenged myself, and why I even chose to do that at the time is for 365 days I did exercises to increase my vibrations every day, and there were some days that it was in complete contrast to where I was, and I had to learn about that vibrational state. So that's that emotional frequency. And you know what? Just like those energy distinctions, the sun's the same way. You know, it's hot, it can be warm, it can be kind of like behind a cloud. Like there's a lot of different ways, and its rays serve for our rejuvenation, and its energy affects our moves and emotions. So that's the thing, is with the sun's rays, radiance, and our emotional frequencies, they're intertwined, right? They're intertwined. When you feel warmth, you feel that, oh, I feel so great. But if you don't, how do you feel? So we can choose to bask in the sun, or we can seek shade as the sun's frequencies intensify. And we discover and honor this shifting landscape from the sun. So that's what you're going to do, is that you're going to discover and honor the shifting emotional landscape you yourself are having. So as you embark on this understanding, you're going to learn these ebbs and flows with these waves and pulses of your emotional rhythms. And I was reading a little mini book from Pema Chodron, and she talks about becoming friends with your emotional states, you know, understanding that rhythm, not being judgmental, not, you know, shaming yourself, not placing all this pressure that you have to be a certain, you know, feeling or do that. She really talked about you gauging and understanding your emotions to foster really healthy interactions to influence yourself, but also others. So, when we materialize our ability to increase the vibration of our emotional frequency, we come to know what we are feeling. And this feeling state of acceptance is a place where there's less emphasis on the extremes of the emotion, as it's a place where we sit within the emotion. And I love that. I love that part. You sit with the emotion, you allow your feeling to reside, and you live within it completely. And it doesn't mean that you stay there or ignore it or say, oh, that's ridiculous, I shouldn't be feeling this. It's you, or I don't want to feel that way. It means you gain comprehension of the reason for feeling what you are feeling, and that's okay. That's emotional empowerment, and it's beautiful. Um, and so, you know, like lately, just going through this process of putting out a deck that is very unique and different, and wanting to print in Canada, that was huge for me. Trying to find a printer in Canada, for the reasons that I chose, you know, carbon footprint, diminishing carbon footprint, staying closer to home, being able to be in touch with them and really being part of the process. Like I had to have my hands in every piece. And so they understood that in their professionalism. So, you know what, just going through that, the feelings that I had were like from here to there and everywhere. Like I was one moment really happy, and then the next moment I was like, this is crazy, what am I doing this for? And then really questioning myself and stuff like that. So that's the thing. Here you're going to gain comprehension of the reason for feeling what you are feeling, and that's what I love about this deck. And it's true. I mean, I'm going in it still, and I mean, and I'm reading, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And what does that mean to me? So it's attuning to that inner landscape. And that's this tool is, you get to choose from the 58 cards that are provided, that you're intuitively proclaiming that you want to look deeper into the kaleidoscope of all of your emotions, and that's what you're doing. So the process of perceiving, appreciating our emotions, and it assists us in releasing any judgment or harshness to the emotional contrasts we may be feeling. So as you alleviate this personal discomfort that can accompany interpersonal interactions, you begin to really foster a gentler and more compassionate atmosphere to yourself. And look, I'm all about love and compassion, man. Okay, where empathy can flourish. And this is where you are awakening your true spirit. This is it. This is what this means. So I have often you know, repeated the mantra, you know, the sun always rises, and found a renewed outlook emerge, a fresh perspective, a new way of, this is how this could be. So let's look at the purpose of the deck, after explaining all of that, the background, here's the purpose. So its purpose is to open your intuitive organic process and gain perspective of your emotional landscape. Each card has that same image that will minimize any interference of preconceived notion. It is a very simple and elegant image of the sun that I created. It's a digital art creation, and it draws you into the breadth and depth of the sun's full rays. You know, it bursts forward in this glorious, embracing, radiant, and luminous right from its white center. And there's colors of honeycomb, amber, and yellow. There's a tapestry of elegant warmth that comes through when you see it. It's streaked with hues of blues, teals, and a splash of red. The color palette tells us that there's this incredible expansiveness to how the sun will portray its masterpiece. That's us, that's awakening your spirit. So too are the array of our emotions, weaved and rich in possibilities that can radiate warmth, tenderness, balance, growth, enthusiasm, strain, stability, wisdom, compassion, patience, coolness, somberness, and so much more. So consider what emotions are stirred as you see the word prompt on each card. So while you're immersed in this contemplation, you will gently gain a vantage point and begin to maximize clarity on the situation at hand. And this is the place where you will develop a realistic relationship towards your feelings. Okay, so how do you use this deck? Awesome, possum, we're great. So you're going to witness this radiance of emotions emulating the sun cycles. So as the sun rises, it illuminates possibilities. That's that increase in vibration. And what lies hidden? Yeah, you're just gonna. so, so as you awaken to your emotions, you hold the power and strength to bask or scorch with your emotions. It's your choice. Their emotions are meant to be experienced, and in these moments, we have the choice to fully immerse ourselves in the feeling and breathe through it, or to dismiss it. And the sun always rises serves as a powerful reminder that within each of us resides the potential for boundless growth and transformation. And you know what? And you know, you're going to embrace the certainty of insight. You're going to gain this, and you're going to believe in it, and you're going to be thankful that it's coming through, and you unlock this real, true essence of your being, and you are embarking on a journey of self-discovery. I mean, that just is limitless. I mean, there's just who you are just comes out, and it just flows all over. It's just like a stream flows freely over the rocks. Through the color of the sky is hazy in the early morning hours. Not a single cloud can be seen, and it's promising a hot, sunny day. You know, that's something that you can see. So, what is it that the radiance of our emotions? So, how this deck works, and so you're going to see there's 5 components to this deck. So you have the mindfulness meditative image, number 1. Okay, the second one is the key word. It is the first word that you will see, and that's going to prompt a stirring of emotions right away when you see that. And while immersed in your contemplation, you will gently gain a vantage point and begin to maximize clarity on the situation at hand. And this is a place where you will develop a realistic relationship towards your feelings. So, you know, the sun's a beacon, and you can direct yourself to illuminate your path forward by choosing a card. So, embedded within the human spirit is the innate resilience and an unwavering certainty that insight and growth are not only possible but inevitable. And with this recognition at hand, no matter what the challenges or darkness one may face, there exists an inexhaustible wellspring of inner wisdom that's just waiting to be tapped in the journey of personal transformation. This serves as a guiding light and illuminates your path forward through the complexities of life. So, I mean, there are things that are very complex in life. So, you know what? The sun can cast its rays upon the world and it infuses it with light and warmth. And so does it infuse our lives with clarity and understanding. So, insight empowers us to navigate the twists and turns of our existence with purpose and determination, and knowing that within us lies the capacity to overcome adversity and emerge stronger on the other side. So, at times, the journey we take may seem daunting or it's shrouded in shadows of doubt and uncertainty. And then there's moments of clarity and revelation and that pierce through the veil of confusion, just like the sun breaks through the darkness at dawn. It's in these moments of insight that we find the courage to confront fears, embrace our vulnerabilities, and embark on a path of personal growth with renewed vigor, a changed perspective. And that's what these cards are, to provide guidance and perspective on your lived experience. So using this deck for introspection can be incredibly powerful tool for self-reflection and gaining insight into what is going on in your life. By using every single word from the oracle card you as a prompt for journal writing, oh my gosh, you're going to tap into your inner wisdom, gain clarity, and deepen your understanding of yourself and your life journey. Now, on my website, there is at www.feminineintuitive.com, and that'll be below. I actually have, I think it's a three-page document, two-page document about journal writing, and it guides you through that process. If you're interested, you can certainly um, use that and as a prompt to help you with your journal writing. So that's about the Sunrise Oracle. So you're going to learn, and today you're going to be doing this, but you're going to choose a card at the end of this video. We'll let your intuition guide you, and it's going to be this beautiful organic process of self-discovery that's going to unflow. So as you lay out a card, you want to see this as a very sacred act that's both fluid and dynamic, where you're going to surrender and trust what's happening. And you're going to allow yourself to be open and curious about the card's meaning. So that's what you want to do. Okay, so let's get into our next section of our video. So here we want to talk about the energy of your cards, and energizing your oracle deck is really a vital practice that enhances their effectiveness and deepens your connection to the intuitive message they hold. So let's recognize that these tools are not merely pieces of art, but carriers of energy and intention. And it's a sacred object that can absorb energies from their surroundings and from other people who handle them. So regular cleansing helps to clear any stagnant, unwanted energy, allowing the cards to resonate with clarity and purpose. And there's so many methods on how to cleanse your oracle cards, and everybody does differently. I mean, I have people who love to 3 knocks. I find that for me, shuffling them with the intention that the energy is pureness and light really infuses them. So what you want to do is that you want to find an effective method to do this. Some use the pendulum, some use crystals, some use smoke from sage, Palo Santos, or incense. Just visualize any kind of negativity coming away, dissipating, and that you're replacing that with this really protective and uplifting aura, like that energy about it. And then, you know what, energizing your cards is really important. It's simple. So before reading, you want to take that moment after you've cleansed them to hold the deck in your hands, close your eyes, breathe deeply, focus on the intentions you wish to imbue into the cards, whether it's clarity or guidance or healing. And that's the thing, for me, it's all I'll ask the cards for clarity. I will ask the cards for guidance. I'll ask the cards for healing. Sometimes I just say, what do I need to know right now related to this? The other thing is you can also use moon energy. So during a full phase, known to amplify intuition and emotional clarity, it's a great time to revitalize your cards. So, creating a personal ritual around cleansing and energizing them is going to enhance your practice. So that's something that I would do. And even affirmations, essential oils, anything like that that will help. Amethyst, clear quartz will help the card's energy and your intuitive abilities, because you're putting your energy with the cards. They're going to become yours. The other thing that I've did in the past when I was just first starting out the practice is that I would sleep with them under my pillow, the full deck. I would sleep with them beside my bed. I would carry them in my purse. I'd carry them in my pocket or on my person in another way, so that I was getting really that deep, deep connection to them. So the more personal, meaningful that you do your rituals or setup or however you want to prepare, the stronger the connection that you're going to cultivate with the cards. And remember, your intuition is your greatest guide in this process. So just pay attention to what it says for you to do, and just respond to that and say, okay, sometimes I want to put a crystal on it, and sometimes I use a pendulum, and sometimes I just put my hands, and it's like, okay, I need this is what I require. And you do honestly need, you don't have to go through any something so formal or anything. It's just embrace that this is going to be your unique approach, and just let your intuition lead. And sometimes it's just holding them, and that's what you want to do. The next thing we want to talk about is developing a personal connection with your deck. And developing that connection with your oracle deck is essential for unlocking its full potential. So we often approach our decks with a sense of reverence. So I do, and that will come as well. That allows you to spend time with the cards outside of the readings. You just lay them on the table, shuffle them, observe their imagery or whatever emotions are coming from, what stories are they telling you. And this practice fosters that familiarity and helps you understand the nuances of your deck. And it really does pave that way for more insight into your readings. Another effective way is to journal. And please go on my website and look at the 2 pages that are there that talk about how to spend the time that you need to write down your thoughts and your feelings and any intuitive messages that arise. Sorry. This is going to reinforce that bond with your deck, but it also becomes such a valuable resource afterwards, because I see how I wrote before to what I do now. And documenting your experience is going to allow you to track how your interpretations evolve over time. And it's so different from before to now for me. And it provides clarity and growth in your readings. It's a great reflective practice, and it transforms your relationship with deck. You really, really connect with this simple tool, and it becomes a companion on your spiritual journey. So, consider setting and dedicating a specific space for your deck, a specific area in your home, or, a place where you can have a physical representation of this bond that you're forming, that so like I know when I walk in, I'm afforded space in my home for an office, and when I walk into that space, I know exactly what that is. It's about my spiritual practice and my creativity, and that's what comes out. This is where this work is being done. The other thing that we want to talk about is engaging in meditation or some type of visual technique to strengthen your connection. So before reading, you take a moment to center yourself and you invite or ground yourself. You need to look those up because it's very individual for everybody. And you invite the energy of your deck into your space. You visualize that the cards are enveloping you in light, and they're going to allow the messages to flow freely. This practice really does cultivate an atmosphere of receptivity and it makes room for intuitive insights to emerge. So as you grow more comfortable and with this process, you may find that the messages you receive during readings become more vivid and meaningful and reflect the trust that you are building with your cards. But you're building this with yourself as well. That's very much that ultimately you're developing that personal connection with your deck. It's a journey that invites exploration and curiosity and embraces the process by allowing your intuition to guide you in discovering what resonates most with you. So remember, each reader's relationship is going to be unique and it's shaped by your own experiences and insights. So don't expect what somebody else is if you connect with them during these tutorials, that it's going to be the same for them. It's going to be unique and individual, and that's perfect. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. What you want to know is that nurturing a connection, you're going to empower yourself to deliver authentic and powerful readings. You're going to enrich your practice of the lives for those you serve. So for me, this is enriching the lives of the people that I serve, and it is to get this out there for others for emotional empowerment. And it's funny, that's something obviously that I had to learn. So why wouldn't I want to be out there and help others as well gain that perspective? So I just going to take a look to see where we're at. And sorry, just give me a moment. So I'm going to just open the box of what you should expect to see when you have the deck. So what you will be getting, oh, that doesn't help with it down below, and not, and how to connect. So what you'll do is you're going to have your box. Yes, it's an oracle deck in a tuck box, and there's a reason for that. That's just how I was supposed to do it. And what you'll see for the guidebook is you're going to have, you're going to have two QR codes. One is for the e-guidebook and the other one is for the PDF, which is on my website. It's downloadable. Please go there and you'll take a look. The other thing that you'll have is a nice little note from me saying thank you so very much. And then on the opposite side, you'll have my YouTube channel, my website, and the other card decks that are available electronically if you're interested, just that. Then you're going to have 58 cards with the words, on them. It must be just the lighting here. It's just something's reflective. Sorry about that. So what you're going to do with this is that you are going to, starting now, this is your practice exercise, is that you will open your deck and you will take out each card and you will lay them out on the table in front of you, and you will look at the card. You will look at the word. You may get some impressions right away, and that's fine. And what you'll do is you'll just look at it, take that word in, and then move on and pick the next card and move on and pick the next card. Now I'm going to tell you, if you look at the video before this, that is uploaded the day before. Okay, so you saw that I was flipping through and that I have shuffled. 3 cards came up and the cards were Flourish, Discern, and Explore. And those 3 cards, here we go. Here we go. Oops. The first one, Flourish. Look at this. Oops. I'm sorry, Discern and Explore. Look at that. The same 3 cards are coming up again. That is fascinating to me. So that's good. That's a good sign. That's a really great validation for me. So what you want to do is you want to look at each card and take in what the word is. You may get an impression. If you want to have a piece of paper beside you, just write it down, what is coming through. If nothing comes through, that's fine. That's fine. Just take your time. Don't worry. Just take your time and go through each card. You need to spend the time to do that. You need to mull them over. You need to look at them. You need to see what's coming through. So that is how you're going to start building your relationship with the Sunrise Oracle card deck, okay? Remember, we're here to illuminate who we are in spirit. The other thing that you will do, so you're going to do a meditation. You're going to look over each card. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to pull a card so that you can build. And this is just, do not worry. Do not be fearful. Don't be concerned over not knowing what it means or what's going to happen. But just gently go through and just go like this and go through and gently pull a card, any card. You may want to spread them out. I think that's great. And they are of a material that they're easily spreadable, which I love that kind of thing. And then I want you to just choose a card. And we have chosen a card, and it, you can't make this up. Okay, that's flourish. So that is telling me about alignment and everything. And I know that because of the guidebook. But I want you to pull the card, and I want you to provide an impression, a thought, a feeling. If it is in contrast to this, then certainly say why. And just leave it at that. And what I want you to do is every day pull a card, just one card. Don't go into not growing the foundation of your oracle card reading practice. Just pull one card and start building a relationship with your deck so that you can gain perspective that you can read the guidebook afterwards. You can take notes. Please review that document I have regarding journal writing and prompts and stuff like that. Do not worry about questions. I believe that Spirit knows what we're saying in our hearts and asking without us maybe saying it out loud. So if you just say, you know, I just need guidance in this, I would really appreciate that. Or, you know, what do I need to know? What's a daily message that I can have? If you do that, those are great exercises for you to begin building your intuition and gaining a perspective of your internal emotional landscape. Okay, so I'm going to sign off on here. We're almost at the 1 hour mark, which I know there's a lot of information. The next time we're going to talk a lot more about the structure of the deck, the different card pulls and all that stuff. So module 2 will be uploaded next Tuesday. It will be every Tuesday. We're going to look at each of the cards. We're going to explain the significance of the sunrise regarding spiritual awakening and introspection, how to interpret and channel the messages that are coming out. We're going to give you a couple of exercises to do as well. So just practice what you require for 1 week's time, and then we will have module 2. I will be doing uploads of touch points for the collective. That'll be a touch point reading for the collective. Feel free to join me there. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you so very much for joining me. And you can direct message me through my website or in the manner that you can. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so very much. Take care, and we will talk to you in a week's time. Thanks. Bye-bye.